We're on air. Mark in. Hide overlay. Let's go. Go, Landon. We're up. Come on.
I'm not up there. We're here at Conifer High School for this 4A non-league matchup between the Valor Christian Eagles and the Conifer Lobos. This is an opening game for both teams, and we're 1 minute in. We had probably an hour delay due to lightning in the area, but that is cleared up, and we are ready as Valor Christian takes a goal kick. Connor Georgopoulos in the net for the Eagles. I'm joined by Valor Christian faculty member and VSN sponsor, Keith Wall. I'm Landon Troca, and we have a first opportunity for the Valor Christian Eagles, but that ball will go wide and out, so it'll be Conifer ball. Valor Christian is in blue, Conifer Lobos are in white. Coach, what do you think about today's game?
Well, I've had a chance to take a look at this Valor Eagles soccer team, and they have been absolutely impressive during practice. I'm really excited for their first opportunity here today.
Yeah, I was talking with a lot of people who watched their first scrimmage against Evergreen, who's one of the top teams in the state. And Valor Christian lost by 1, but they said that Valor is really in it throughout. And as well as I was talking to Coach Schultz, and he believes this is the best team that the Valor Christian has fielded.
Yeah, there's no question that this is going to be the top team in Valor Christian history. This team is poised for a breakthrough season, and we're excited to be a part of it here in our first road broadcast ever and our first doubleheader broadcast as well.
Yeah, we will be bringing you the Valor Christian Conifer volleyball game after this, which we're real excited about. Volleyball is a lot of fun to broadcast and a lot of fun to watch. So Valor Christian gains possession back in the defensive half, and that'll be a long ball, and it'll be tipped by the Conifer player, and he will clear it out.
We'll highlight some of the players. One of the players that we should highlight, there's Adam Giedig as he throws it in. Taking a look at Spencer Jamison, a homeschooled senior who's going to play with Valor Christian for the first time this year. He'll be number 20, and he'll be one of the forwards with Roby Bodie and others for the Eagles as we continue to highlight their roster.
Yeah, I came in. He's still a part-time homeschool student, but he takes Valor Christian's math curriculum as well as some of the Bible classes here. But he has wheels that won't quit and a real big motor, so his speed is definitely a weapon. As Bodie takes it in, he'll go inside the 18 and put a shot on, but that'll be well high.
Well high. Looks like the pressure thus far has been all on Conifer. Valor controlling this half of the field, doing a nice job with their first touches and continuing to move the ball and advance on pressure for against the Lobos.
Yeah, the Conifer coming off a 1-13 season. Lone win was against Arvada. Valor Christian coming off a 7-8-1 season. They made the playoffs, but unfortunately didn't make it past the first round. So they're looking for a deep run this year. And Valor Christian continues to possess it as Jonathan Sands sends it across the field to the far side. And this will go to Paul Grizzle. And he'll take it down in the corner and put a cross on back to Carson Temby. And Temby will lose possession. And that'll be cleared up by the Conifer Lobos, but back into the zone by center back Sands.
Spencer trying to win that ball right there, unable. But that was the first look we got to see Spencer Jamison right there.
So Valor Christian ball here. They'll throw in, and that'll be Giedig again. And he'll go to one of the forwards, Gabe.
Coach, you might as well call him Coach K.
Yeah, real.
That's a lot of K's, a lot of vowels, not a lot of vowels in that in Gabe's name.
So that's that could pose some problems, and that'll be
for us.
Yeah,
more than anything else.
Valor Christian has some great players, and Colton Corey, who is not active today, I don't believe, but they also got a lot of senior leadership on this team.
Kredzinski? Is that what we're going to go with for Gabe? Kredzinski?
Kredzinski.
We'll ask Coach Schultz at halftime. We'll see if we can get clarification.
I apologize if any of his family members are
right.
are listening. And that'll be cleared back out by Valor Christian, and that'll go down the far.
See if Spencer can win this with his speed.
That'll be out, but he's showing a real good motor.
We apologize for the delay on the camera there. He was repositioning himself. He's actually on top of the van right now, in a safe position now that the lightning has rolled over the top of us.
Wouldn't ever sacrifice safety in order to get a great shot.
Not a chance. Temby, as he goes back to the goaltender, Georgopoulos boots it deep into the zone.
And Valor tried for the through ball. Oh, and that won't be won by Bodie. And now the Lobos with an opportunity.
Blake Hillis there in the defensive end.
And all the way back to the keeper. Restart, and that'll be a good ball. Played up to Kredzinski. And he'll try to possess it, see what he can do. Gita making a run up the wing. Oh, and he threads it through. That's a great ball right there. Now Gita with an opportunity to Jamison in the center. And Jamison almost loses it, but it'll be controlled again by Valor Christian. And that'll be out on Conifer on the Lobos. That goes off number 4. That's Levi Anderson.
It's a good shot of Gietig.
And that'll roll out the back line, and that'll go for a goal kick.
Gietig's dad, Dave, is actually one of the coaches as well. He helps out with the goalkeepers, I do believe.
And that'll be sent by the keeper there. Conifer looks to mount their first attack.
And here goes Temby. I thought
Temby almost lost it, but that possession was regained by number 14, Friedrich, and he's a midfield senior and a captain at that, so he's one of the leaders for the Lobos.
Valor showing good patience early against a team that we believe we should overmatch. Good run by Gietig.
Oh, great ball down in the corner for him. He's going to have a good chance to center it. And they'll go for the header to Grizzle, but that'll sail through. Great opportunity there. Valor Christian really showing a lot. Looks real dangerous in this first half. 31:56 remaining in the first half. And high school, there's 40-minute halves instead of 45, as seen throughout the professional circuit in international matches. Still a real long time to be played, and is with those in traditional and all those matches. It's a running clock. Oh, and a ball to Jamison. Oh, he had a great opportunity, but he couldn't quite get all of it. So Conifer will avoid the first goal of the match.
I'll say this, Landon. The Valor Christian Eagles are wearing new jerseys today, and I'm finding the numbers to be fairly difficult to read.
I agree. Absolutely an interesting number font, especially looking at the front. But it's an interesting choice. It's a sleek look, I guess you could say.
There's Gabe on a run.
He'll put a shot on, and it is pushed wide there by goalie Kurt Dennis. He is a junior captain for the Lobos. Valor Christian still with an opportunity, but that'll be driven wide by Temby.
Thought Grizzle might have another opportunity at that ball up front.
Yeah, Grizzle is starting on the left wing for Valor Christian.
Temby with a fight at midfield there.
And that'll be a free kick for the Lobos. Right around midfield. That ball is won by Conifer up in the air. And then it will be controlled by Jamison comes in. Conifer doing a good job of keeping the ball down in Valor Christian zone, but now that'll be cleared out and controlled by Grizzle.
Grizzle with nice control there at midfield.
Yeah, looking for somewhere to go. Finally plays it back to James Neal. a senior. And that'll be kicked out of bounds, I believe. Kind of had some spin on it, but eventually rolled out by the defense of Conifer.
Another opportunity for Valor to pressure yet again.
Oh, and a long ball, and that'll be sent into the middle, but it'll be controlled by Dennis and net. And he looks for somewhere to go and then punts it away. And Conifer with his first attacking chance. That's number 12, Hobbs. Oh, and Georgopoulos with a great save.
And another.
Gets up and controls it. And a
Great
Conifer
chance
Lobo is down. But he's
just limping out over there.
Yeah, he will limp off.
Georgopoulos with the kick.
Sends up right up the middle towards Grizzle and then back again.
Trying to work that left side now.
Temby, and he's going to play a ball over to Jamison, but didn't quite get all of it. Still be controlled, and Jamison plays it to himself, and now he's going to go up the wing to Roby Bodie, but he cannot control that, so it'll be a throw-in for the Lobos.
Bodie unable to get the first touch on that ball right there, unable to control.
Yeah, there's a bit of pressure mounting for Valor Christian, but unfortunately that seemed to put an end to the threat. Oh,
Timmy with a nice pass.
Good ball.
Good control.
Yeah. And that'll be off Temby, I believe. Or that'll be a throw-in. Off Temby. So way down in their own corner, the Lobos will throw it in. And that'll be played up right to Roby's legs. Oh, and he tries to put something on but can't get all of it. And now they'll play it back to Temby, who looks to control it. And that'll be a free kick as the foul's called on Temby. And the forwards of Conifer with a chance to do something here. Oh, a good ball there. And Conifer's going to use its speed, and they're posing a threat here. But that's ultimately going to be defended well by the left back. I believe that's Dawes.
Certainly have to be feeling good if you're Valor Christian in terms of how your defense is playing right now. The ball has rarely been in your end. The defenders, when the ball has been threatened, certainly have had all control over the ball. This will be the first corner of the game for the Lobos, actually for either team.
Excuse me, that was Cooper Youngs with the and the shot goes off the woodwork. Well, great corner there. Great opportunity for the Lobos, and they're showing they're a bit better than their record from last year would seem to say. That was a real good shot, and again controlled by number 5 there. He's doing a lot for him. That's Kiefer Whaley.
I don't know if you just heard that, but Coach Schultz from the sideline just yelled, "Play your game, Valor, play your game." You know, it is the first game for Valor, and they did have a very positive experience against Evergreen the other day, but you still with a team that gets out early for the first time, really, you still need to shout words of encouragement like that. Still have to have those calming words from your coach. Just play your game, do your thing, and good things will happen.
Yeah, really just try to do your best to do what you've been taught to do and not try to adapt and keep going at it, and you'll eventually find success, because when you try to change from what you've been practicing, it's a lot harder to get into a rhythm.
You're absolutely right. You want to do just what you were coached all the time and not try to do too much.
As Georgopoulos will take this corner. Oh, good ball by Cooper Youngs up to Grizzle. Grizzle's going to corner in, but that'll go to the keeper, Dennis.
Dennis, the Conifer keeper, didn't inspire much confidence in me as he played that ball off of his hands. I'm gonna say that Valor is going to be able to take advantage of a less athletic goalie on the other side.
Yeah, he could mishandle an easy ball and open up an opportunity for a rebound from the Eagles. And that's tough to deal with if you're a Lobo, especially if you're just trying to do your best to keep in the game.
Mitchell, have Carrick wipe off his lens. He has one drop on his lens up there.
And Valor Christian with the throw, and they'll go with the long throw, and that was creative there, real clever to Bodie. But that'll go for a Valor Christian corner after being knocked out by the Conifer defense. So the first opportunity for Valor Christian.
They go short. They go short to Bodie.
Oh, and he's going to try to curve something in. Clever.
Bend it like Beckham. Valor playing hard, controlling this end of the field.
And that'll be a throw-in for the Lobos. Yedig controls it, tries to restart. Oh, a great long pass to Youngs. And he wins that ball, keeps it to Jamison, and he'll go to Temby. Temby in the middle of the field is going to drive something on goal.
More opportunities, so more possibilities for goals for Valor Christian. I think Coach Schultz has a point here. Just continue to be patient. Continue to let the game come to you. Scoring opportunities will present themselves. Don't force the issue.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're playing a team like this, just playing disciplined, good passing, really controlling the ball, and eventually it's going to open up. But right here, Jamison uses his speed when the ball will be won by Conifer, but he really got in behind the defense.
Well, you mentioned earlier, Landon, that Jamison has speed that just doesn't quit, and he showed a little burst right there that was really impressive.
Yeah, hopefully if that carries on and Valor Christian's really well conditioned, they can use that towards the second half if their opponents start to wear down.
Well, and you know absolutely that that's the case, that with the performance program run by Coach Jamie Heiner, that these guys are going to be better conditioned than anyone else. And here's a chance for Grizzle.
Oh, good keeping there. Way to come off his line and come and get that by Dennis.
Grizzle with a great run right there. Great chance. Good three-man game ready to happen right here. Great dump into Jamison. Jamison with the center.
Oh, he'll clear, but that'll be handled again by Dennis. Dennis is facing a lot of shots, a lot of ball movement right in front of his net as the rain is starting to pick up a little bit here in Conifer.
It is, and as everybody can see at home, we sure do have a beautiful view up here. The setting up here in Conifer is something else.
And Bodie wins that ball. And he is going to get fouled hard from behind. So Valor Christian will have a chance to run something of a set piece.
Great effort thus far by both teams. As you mentioned before, Conifer with a struggling program from last year. They've got a lot of room to grow, and their kids are giving a great effort right now, as is the Valor Christian Eagles, doing just a wonderful job of working a lot as John Sands looks to put this free kick in.
Yeah, the coach said something along the lines of last year really doesn't affect what's going on this year, and he's hoping to kind of give the program here new life. As that set piece will go in. Great goal off the set piece for Sands as it finds the near post here. And I think the goalie, Clark, thought that was going to be going wide. He was kind of waiting for a Valor Christian player to get a foot on it or a head on it or do something with it, and it kind of just got by him.
As we mentioned, the lack of athleticism by Dennis could affect the Lobos. Apparently my lack of athleticism affected my ability to control the correct camera right there, and we missed the goal for the folks at home. So my apologies there. It is indeed 1-0 in favor of Valor Christian. Goal by Sands.
21:02 remaining in the first half. So, by no means is this out of reach for the Lobos, but they're gonna have to put something on. I believe Valor Christian plays a 4-1-2-1-2.
What is the advantage of the 4-1-2-1-2, Landon?
Well, it opens up the field a lot. You got a strong back line with the 4, but then you got kind of intermediates between the midfield and the strikers with those ones. So that allows them to kind of spread the field out, especially when you got somebody like Carson Temby. He can really control the game from the middle. So that it just opens up a lot, opens up the field, opens up some passing, allows you to get creative.
Still getting a little bit of rain up here. Hasn't caused, I don't think, any issues for either team as of yet.
I think it's a little colder than any of the players would like to have this early in the season.
We'll try to stay wide on Sands just in case he scores.
Another set piece. Oh, and that'll go to the goal and almost bounces in.
Just about skipped off of this turf, and you start to wonder up here in Conifer, this turf I would guess to be somewhere around 8 to 10 years old. Means that a lot of the black fillings have settled in. It's probably a very hard surface, and then you get the rain on top of it. You're going to get a lot of skipping of balls on this surface.
Yeah, that's something that Valor Christian, the black pellets are everywhere. You can't come away a day from practice or performance without just filling your shoes, having to dump them out at the end. Valor Christian again continues to threaten. Probably, I'd say 90% of the game so far has been played in this end of the field, which is
no question
fortunate for us because the way we're situated here, we're getting a lot better angles down here.
Jameson missed the first touch on the set piece, I think is what you've been calling those.
That is the proper football term. Just like the proper name of the sport is football, not soccer.
Indeed.
Indeed it is.
You go ahead with your FIFA knowledge there, Lando.
I do play a mean game of FIFA.
Roby unable to win that ball as it's controlled by Conifer ever so briefly.
And then controlled again by James Neal down in the back line, and he'll kick it out, clear it out, so the Conifer Lobos will maintain their possession and their attack. And that throw in. And that'll be won back by Temby in the middle.
Briefly, you saw Carrick Henderson, our cameraman, on top of the van here.
Yeah, wind and rain continue to pick up here. As you can probably see on the camera, starting to lose visibility in the distance. Oh, and a great chance for the Lobos. They'll take a set piece as Valor Christian builds its wall, and that from here looks to be 20, 25 yards out. So that's a real threatening play. So you saw Valor Christian score from about 35 yards out. So this is a great opportunity here. It'll be taken by number 10. Number 10, that's Travis Tadra.
Hits the wall, though.
He's a senior here. Kept in by Conifer. And Valor Christian was looking for an offsides call, but that'll just roll out. So that'll be a Valor Christian corner.
16:48 left here.
Last year when this game was contested, it was won 7-2 by Valor Christian. It was the last regular game or regular season game of the year for.
And actually, that game launched Valor into the playoffs. If I do believe that, how everything worked out with the league standings, that Conifer win ended up being huge.
Yeah, that's something that. Well, they're no longer in a league, so this is a former league foe. They were in the a Metro League, the Jeffco League last year with teams like Wheat Ridge, Golden, a lot of great programs within the league. Evergreen, who's one of the top teams in the state, I believe they're ranked second to start it off.
Well, what's interesting? Coach Schultz was telling me that there's been a lot of changes in the soccer soccer world, and USA Soccer's kind of set up. They've really set themselves up with a thing called super clubs, and there's actually 3 kids on the Evergreen. Actually, they're no longer on the Evergreen team, who are playing for these USA Soccer super clubs. As we're going to have a run by Paul Grizzle right here. These super clubs are now taking kids away from high school soccer, and so 3 players from Evergreen are not playing for their Evergreen High School team that were on that great team from last year. So the game, the community of soccer is ever changing, and these super clubs, led by US Soccer, is kind of leading that charge.
Yeah, a lot of the major league soccer teams have feeder clubs. I know the Rapids have one. Chivas in Los Angeles has one. I actually knew somebody who played for them and then went on to play at Creighton, which is one of the top collegiate programs in the country. But it's something they're doing to become more competitive in the international circuit. As a lot of international players sign on with major club teams when they're in their early teens, and they just develop from there. So it's something USA Soccer is doing to become more competitive internationally. That's something that's within the American culture, is to try to always be competitive in international sports. So you see that in things like basketball. They're dominating and they're trying to reach that point in soccer. And I believe that U.S. Soccer is doing as much as they can for that, even though it might detract a little bit from the high school game. And that is going to roll to the keeper. And he will bring it up for the punt. He launches it towards the middle of the field where Neal will play it or miss the header. And it'll be controlled by Conifer. Now they're having an attacking opportunity. That's number 12. And he'll pass it over. Now they're getting creative with their passing. Ooh, good ball there by Tadra. Oh, excuse me, Kiefer Whaley. But it's going to be controlled by Valor Christian again. And that foul will go against Whaley.
When you certainly, to go back to what you were saying about USA Soccer and so on, you can't fault them. Their job is to compete internationally. In order to do that, they believe that they need to get those best players in great game situations earlier so that they can have that competition as they grow up, and then they're able to compete against the international teams.
Absolutely. Competition absolutely breeds success. Just out of, it'd be foolish to try to say they're going to face the same level of competition playing high school soccer in Colorado than they would if they went to one of these super clubs, played in an academy, and see other top players in the country, not just some of the top players in the community and within their state. And again, that'll be Kredzinski, but he'll be out, so it'll be a throw-in for the Lobos. Do you think the coaches are happy so far with the game? The 1-0 score with 12:50 remaining.
First game of the year, I think you've got the lead. The conditions are a little bit sketchy. It's been about an hour delay. You got a lot of things working against you. I think as long as the attitude and effort are good, I think you're in good shape. And I think we've seen good effort from the Eagles and certainly good attitude so far. So we are now 12 minutes 20 seconds, as Conifer will have yet another goal kick. Going to wear out Dennis's leg here.
Yeah, really, he's had a lot of punts, had a lot of goal kicks. If you're Conifer, are you happy with how the game's going?
I would say probably so. Knowing, all the hype that comes with any Valor Christian team, you're sitting here 1-0, 20 minutes into the game. I think you have to feel pretty darn good about where you're at with a young team that lost 7-2 against the same club last year.
I'd absolutely agree. Valor Christian, speaking of the club last year, they didn't lose all too much. They lost Chris Boudreau, I believe he's playing at Colorado Christian.
I believe that to be the case as well.
And that's about the extent of it. There's really not too much else that there's a huge impact players. Obviously, there's other seniors who contributed, but in terms of not being able to fill holes, which they very well could fill that Boudreau hole. He had a good motor too, but then again, you see the Jameson come in, decide he wants to play high school soccer instead of just sticking with the club.
We've got a Conifer player down on the ground. He went down, and he certainly does seem to be in pain and actually hurt. Flopping is actually something that happens in soccer quite a bit. What do you know about that concept, Landon? What's your opinion of the flop in soccer?
There's nothing I appreciate more than the theater wandering its way into sports. But actually, in all seriousness, it's something that most fans absolutely, and a lot of analysts, a lot of commentators on it, they get frustrated with it. And it shows up in other sports. It shows up in basketball.
It does.
Sports that have some contact, but it's not to the point where like football you don't want to take a flop.
Well, they actually in American football, they actually have penalties against that. That if a guy does get injured in the last 2 minutes, quote unquote, you are actually and your team has no timeouts, you're actually assessed yardage. In basketball, I think they've been doing a better job calling those kinds of things. It's one of the reasons, frankly, that Manu Ginobili is one of my least favorite players because he's an international flopper. But in soccer, I wonder if at some point they're going to start to dish out harsher penalties on the flop for the fake injury.
Part of it, I think, is with the flop is you have one referee that's in the field. Of course, you have the two side judges and the referee that's controlling substitutions and stuff. But without one referee on the field, you can't always see everything that's going on if you're trying to follow the ball, so that something could get away. Then you look over, he's on the ground, and you think, well, now I have to call something.
So are you telling me you couldn't just add an official and have him be the flop judge who's watching out for just such an kind of, I guess, watching the back of one of the officials?
At an international level, of course, but I mean, it's not practical at a level such as this. But I don't think you're really going to see it nearly as much here because these players, I mean, they just want to go out and play and
right.
I think,
love of the game kind of thing.
Yeah, they're not trying to
Good chip.
Oh, that's a great ball, clever there, but shot couldn't be converted. But Bodie will get over to that, and he's going to have it down the line, and that'll be a Valor throw in. And Roby didn't agree with that. Roby Bodie.
I don't think I agreed with it either.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're saying he was out originally when he kicked it back in and it deflected off the Conifer player.
Must have been out just a half second before Bodie with the touch to try to get it back in.
Yeah, interesting call, but that'll again just be controlled again right back to Valor Christian. And that'll be controlled over there on the far side, and Cooper Youngs has it, and he's looking for something to do. Oh, and tried to get the touch around, but didn't quite get enough mustard on that.
Conifer player just kicked the ball into his own player's face. So, not the best touch, I would say.
Not the worst. The worst would be, own goals.
Okay, own goals. Yep, I would agree. But your own teammate's face, not a good thing. Hillis controls it about the mid.
And he'll go back to James Neal. 9:41 remaining. They did shut the clock down for the injury. If you're wondering how that kind of worked out, the timing of that, and that'll be cleared over the sideline in front of the Valor Christian bench. And
actually still playable.
Yeah, I thought that was going to go out. Obviously, not the best perspective here.
Yeah, depth perception of the mountains kind of threw it off. I can understand.
Good news is the rain has stopped. My items are no longer getting wet. Oh, and that's
swing and a miss.
Strike one there. Might be 1 and 2.
That's one reason you love high school sports versus college or professional, because you don't get a swing and a miss in soccer at those levels. But at high school, you still get those things.
I did catch one from Abby Wambach in the Olympics, but I think people are just gonna sweep that under the rug when she whips out the gold medal. And Jamison looks for something to do.
Good control by Jamison there.
Good pass back. Oh,
and a run.
Tried to press Y for through ball.
Mm-hmm. Press Y for through ball. Wow.
Got to know those Xbox FIFA controls. That's something that that's worn right off the back.
And the classic don't rub it, but number 9 for Conifer did rub that one because he wore that straight into his back. It will indeed leave a mark.
Yeah, he's going to wake up tomorrow with a little bit of red there on his back. Conifer is coached by George Hunt.
Good info, Landon. Thank you.
I can tell you all sorts of fun information.
Good center. Oh,
Oh, and that's going to be chipped out, but Jamison's going to control it just outside the 18. What is he going to do? Oh, great touch there, but then cleared out. It was a clever touch.
Was indeed a clever touch as he went around the Conifer defender, who ended up being stationary and left in the dust.
And that throw-in will be controlled by Conifer. They'll try to play it up, but Sands will have none of that. That's a good piece of footwork there. Oh, he's going to put it on from long range.
Sands from the defensive end trying to get his second goal of the day. And
getting a little eager with his shots.
Indeed, but a great shot nonetheless as the goalie was forced to dive for the play.
And that's a sky ball, a little moon rocket. And it'll be controlled by Conifer. And Neal, unfortunately, will get beat there. But he'll go back to Sands. I believe he'll play it back to Georgopoulos. Been a pretty quiet day back there for.
It certainly has. Really only one real scoring opportunity for the Lobos thus far.
Yeah, that hard-driven ball off the woodwork.
Oh, Dawes slips on the sideline, still able to recover. Get the ball up to Hillis.
Dawes, a senior here for Valor Christian. Carson Temby, a senior. Spencer Jamison, a senior. So a fair amount of good leadership. They also got a lot of young talent. Oh!
Center.
Just missed there.
Got another one.
Right in front.
Oh!
Bodie tried to control it.
Great center by Jamison. A great opportunity for the Eagles.
And Grizzle was on the ground kind of pounding. He wasn't happy with that. Just missing that ball.
Had his first opportunity for a goal of the year. He won't miss that in practice tomorrow and probably won't miss it again this year when he gets that chance.
Oh, clever ball.
Oh, goes off the referee. They're referees in soccer, right?
Officials, dang it. I believe a referee is acceptable.
Okay.
And Valor Christian will.
Technical difficulty. We'll be right back.
Technical difficulty, unfortunately, will be. We'll lose our high camera here, so we're going to be working with one camera for just a little bit. So we're going to have our low camera turn into the wide, but nonetheless, we'll continue to bring you great Valor Christian soccer, football. Oh, and again with the hard ball, and that'll be worn again by number 9. Now he's just been getting peppered. Oh, clever ball, and they're going to go for the far back post high. Oh, and that's going to drop in. Oh, but they're going to say that's offsides as Grizzle tried to touch it in. That was an excellent opportunity there. So Conifer is starting a freshman in Isaac Arnold. He is number 9 on the defense, wearing those bright orange cleats. Oh, they're going to put that on, but that's going to go just to the far post. And again, we'll see an opportunity for the goal kick out of Dennis. He's looking for somewhere to go. Can't really find anyone.
Mitch, we're good. You can go tight again.
And our camera's back. A little bit of troubleshooting as Georgopoulos controls it. He's going to play it back up to Temby, who's going to have to win it. But Conifer gets it until it's controlled by Hillis, back to Temby. Temby looks for it. Oh, good ball up the sideline. Conifer tries it. That's Quentin Labarge, sophomore. Oh, that's a good ball. That's going to have a little too much power on it. There'll be a throw-in, but go right back out and become Valor Christian ball. Oh, Bodie with an opportunity, but it's going to be defended well by Conifer.
Bodie with another lost touch today. Roby just not quite as sharp as what he usually is. He usually controls those and sets up a nice run.
Again, I'd say Temby's doing a great job of controlling the ball.
Temby is having a good day. As we say that, he loses it, but
it's a good play there by Whaley. He was listed as One of the local papers here is a player to watch as Georgiopolis goes out and controls that. And that'll be played up to Kredzinski. 2:42 remaining. The first half, 1-0 Valor Christian. And played back to center back Sands. Oh, that'll be out as Cooper Young slipped on the far side and couldn't quite control it. So Conifer will have an opportunity to do something in the last 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And if they scored in this first half, that really opens things up for them. Tie game going in the second half. You got to be really excited if you're a Lobo, pulling for the upset. And that'll go up to Jamison. He plays it with his feet. Grizzle attacking on the close wing here. And Jamison looking for something to do, but it'll be played out after a long run there by the Eagles. Oh, good ball across the field, but a little too much power on it from Jamison. Long throwing controlled by Dawes with the header to Grizzle. He gets it back to Temby. Temby back to Dawes, and Dawes will play it to Sands. Hit that ball a little bit, but that's going to be a good pass up to Temby. Oh, and now a ball to Grizzle, but that'll roll out the back line and be another goal kick. 45 seconds remaining in the first half. Oh, and it won back by Grizzle. 30 seconds for Valor Christian to mount an attack here. James Neal looks for something to do. He plays it up, and they tried to play it to Roby. Kredzinski did, but unfortunately he couldn't convert. And all the way back with 10 seconds to Georgiopolis. He'll play it right up the middle of the field. Ball almost squeaked through to Roby. Oh. And no stoppage time in high school, so at the end of the half, it'll be Valor Christian 1, Conifer Lobos 0. You're watching the Valor Sports Network. And we're back here at Conifer High School for the second half. As Valor Christian will now be going right to left on your screens to the far end of the field. And Conifer will be attacking left to right.
Well, Landon, that was quite a run you just made.
Yeah.
You got your performance workout in today.
I was concerned that I wouldn't, having to come up here do VSN, my true passion. But I got it in. And I can now speak to what you were talking about with the turf.
Yeah.
There's minimal in terms of the black pellets.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's virtually AstroTurf, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, that happens over the course of time with these facilities and with these surfaces, that the pellets just kind of sink in, and then over the course of time, you don't see any anymore, and it becomes a lot harder.
So, what would you say is the average shelf life for a turf field before you kind of replace it?
I don't know. It's an interesting question because I think it depends on the quality. Like Conifer and the Jeffco schools, they're not going to have the money to replace all of these for 20 or 30 years. So I think they're hoping to get more use out of it than what the manufacturers would want them to. But I think we're still in the experimental stages of these turf fields, to be totally honest.
Yeah, really, there has been a lot of advances since the original turf went in at the Astrodome, but still not totally replicant of grass. Dawes made a run here on the near sideline, but it'll go again for the corner. The goal kick. Your
real extremists on the environmental side will also wonder about the long-term effects of these turf fields on the health of the individuals who use them. There's actually some people who believe that these will be problems in terms of the fumes that are let off because of the rubbers. But again, those are the extremists.
Yeah, and then you also have the other side who just says it's nothing like like real grass, the real thing. But at the same time, if you're gonna be using it every day, is a lot of situations like this. It's a practice field. It's their football field. It's their soccer field. It's boys and girls lacrosse. It's easier than trying to upkeep a grass field. Well,
and let's think about the water conservation that's going to need to happen over the course of many, many, many years. That it's probably better for the environment as Conifer seeks to make a run here.
Oh, they have a great opportunity here. Oh, the through ball. Oh, and that'll be defended wonderfully there by Valor Christian. They avoided a real solid opportunity for the Lobos.
That was number 2. That's Matt Arnold, the junior.
And Neal will clear it out. So this will be a throw-in for the Lobos. They are in the attacking zone. Some halftime adjustments are working out.
Arnold with a good play right off of the throw. Arnold's an excellent athlete. I think he's just trying to kind of find his way in the Valor athletics world. Also an incredibly gifted speaker as well. Been a part of Mr. Gautier's speech and debate team for some time now.
Yeah, really getting into a lot of things, getting involved with a lot of different things at Valor Christian.
And that's one of the great things about Valor Christian, that we have so many outlets for kids still to become involved in, including things like the Valor Sports Network, which you are watching right now.
Yeah, a lot of great opportunities, within the arts program. A lot of different athletic opportunities. The club's starting up this year, first year of that.
Yeah, talk to me about that a little bit, Landon. There's a whole lot of clubs that's starting up.
There's a lot of serious options, or more serious options like STEM, the science, technology, engineering, math club, and then you got fun stuff. They're starting a man club to just do man things. Baseball's real excited about wiffle ball club.
Mm-hmm.
Handball, as in team handball, is seen in the Olympics, which unfortunately the United States at the national level is absolutely pitiful at, and which is a shame because it is a wonderful game.
I would agree, and I would actually say that I would enjoy picking up and coaching a handball team after watching how bad the Americans were, and let's take that thing to where's the next Summer Olympics? I know Sochi's the next winner. Brazil 2016. Let's make it happen.
After you go to Sochi 2014.
Sochi 2014,
with
yeah.
the curling squad.
That's right, yeah. Evan Troca at the University of Oklahoma, currently our number one, still our number one, in spite of his brother trying to step in last year. Just didn't quite happen.
It happened a little too well, I think, is what you're saying. I think you're jealous of the recruitment I've seen. It wasn't my game. I didn't agree with the ice. I'm not a flexible form.
Fair enough.
But
great deep job here.
Yeah.
Good spacing.
Good center ball. Probably didn't get it. Got a little too under that. Didn't get quite on top as he'd hope. And
so Landon, if you're a soccer aficionado and you're listening to the two of us do a soccer broadcast, how would you grade us? Again, that's obviously a sliding scale. No, but if somebody doesn't know anything about soccer, they might say, "Hey, those two guys are kind of enjoyable to listen to." But if you're a soccer aficionado, grade our performance thus far.
1 point off, I guess. I mean, if we're doing AB, one whole letter grade for not being English was probably the first thing. Another one for not saying goal with drawn out goal.
And for missing the goal on the camera.
That's on the producer.
Indeed,
so that's not really involving me. I don't want to embarrass our producer, but
no embarrassment at all.
That would be my co-host here. I don't know. I think we're doing a good job.
I think we're a solid D-. If Janine Becky were listening, she would be texting me and just saying how bad I am.
Oh, that's a great ball there. Valor Christian's going to bring it in the center, and there's the goal! Great set of passing there for Valor Christian. That was a clever movement there on the original pass to bring it over to the wing, and then a great centering ball. And Valor Christian will take a 2-0 lead. That goal, I believe, will be Bodie's. Oh, excuse me, no, that's going to be Paul Grizzle. That's going to be 15 Grizzle. So his first goal of the year. That was pretty from start to finish, wouldn't you say?
I would, and I just wanted to make sure that I got the score right there as we're trying to do double duty up here. The Valor Sports Network is a crew of 4 right now, and an excellent job once again by the Valor Christian Eagles of putting pressure on their opponents.
Yeah, they really did a lot to just move it around and out. Kind of just not really put the Conifer Lobos in a position where they could do something to defend it. They really just had a great movement, an excellent cross, and then a wonderful finish as that ball came in about knee high.
The pressure on the Lobos all day by the Eagles has really been overwhelming.
Yeah, and to Conifer's credit, they've held up well. Only 2 down at this point, about 50 minutes in, 32 left in the second half. But by that same token, eventually, Valor's going to start scoring.
Yeah, I think they've got a chance to put on more set plays right now here in the second half. Really work out the spacing because they're better athletes.
Yeah, really try to start to work on some of the things that they're going to need, with no disrespect to Conifer, but once they start playing the top teams.
Carvajal handles it. It's the first time we got a chance to call his name today.
Yeah, he's getting some PT. The JV game, I believe, will be coming up after this.
It is, but not on the Valor Sports Network. We'll run inside to the gym here at Conifer, and we'll try to get the volleyball match up on the Valor Sports Network right away.
Yeah, volleyball is going to be a lot of fun. Valor Christian comes in with a great squad, led by some older players, Claire Kelso, Sam Baldwin, but they also got a lot of talent in the junior class as well as the sophomore class, and they should be posed to make a run.
They're loaded top to bottom, and if they blend chemistry together really nicely, Coach Nielsen, if he does a good job of that, getting the girls to play with a lot of joy, they're really going to have a lot of fun this year.
Oh, absolutely. They made it to the district. No, they made it through districts. Yeah, they made it all the way to the regional. Had to travel down to Durango, I believe. And that's actually what Conifer was eliminated. Conifer was eliminated by Valor Christian in the semifinal of the district, hosted by Valor Christian.
Oh, volleyball, yes, absolutely.
So they're a pretty solid squad as well. So it should be some fun volleyball. As Neal brings it up the near side here. Gets a bit of a run before trying to get up to Grizzle, but the pass is cut out wonderfully by number 14. Oh, and bad touch there. And so Valor Christian will get the throw-in off the poor touch by Conifer.
Andrew Dawes, the senior, going to throw in. That's our first look at Brendan Clark, the freshman. up the left side here.
He has.
He wins the ball right there to Grizzle.
Oh, and that'll go off the legs as Grizzle try to throw a shot on. And that ball will roll out for a Conifer throw-in. As Dawes fights for it with number 7 for the Lobos. That's Chris Morrison. He's a junior forward. So now we have Conifer with a chance to do something off of a free kick. And they're going to play it across the field. Oh, and good pressure there by Bodie, I believe. And he's going to have a run down the
run with. We got Grizzle and we got Clark.
Oh, went for the center, but it was headed out.
Looks like Clark has subbed in for Jameson.
Yeah, getting some players, some PT. Really trying to get as many kids in there as you can. And that's going to be hit down, but good defense there by the center back, Sands. Sands had a great experience. He actually played over in London in an international tournament with his club, and he was there during the Olympics, so got to see some Olympic soccer. But he played over in Great Britain, over in Europe, and I believe they did very well in that tournament. But that's a lot of fun to interact with players from other nations.
We're gonna have a card here, I think.
Carson Temby was having some words with
maybe not. Maybe
referee.
not.
I think they were just directing where the free kick would go. Maybe Temby was trying to dispute that, but he's going to kick it off a Lobo player, off one of their captains, Whaley, but Whaley won't be able to track it down. Also seeing for the first time, number 15, or who is that? Again, having a hard time on the numbers.
Yeah, those are difficult.
I think we have 2.
6.
Is that a 6?
It is a 6.
Yeah, that's an awkward-looking 6. But that is Josh Floyd, the sophomore for Valor Christian midfielder. So we're getting our first look at him tonight.
Thought we had a handball there, but was not called.
And then that's kept up.
As Coach Schultz continues to sprinkle in a number of subs.
And Conifer trying to do something here, but Neal will go back and control it, and I think he'll play.
Looks like
Georgopoulos.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, Landon, but I think the Eagles have dropped 3 defenders back with this 2-goal lead. I think we've seen a change in strategy ever so slightly.
Yeah, I think they're playing a little less. More conservatively, I should say. But just trying to.
Floyd and Neal get beat by.
When they're going to put a shot on, but saved by Georgopoulos. Great diving save.
Heck of an individual effort there by number 5 for the Lobos. Landon, you got a name on number 5 there?
That would be their strong attacker in Kiefer Whaley. And he is one of the top players here. Not a captain, but is a senior.
That's one of the most difficult things about high school athletics is trying to gain all the information necessary to run a good broadcast. But thankfully, we have things like Max Preps and so on to help us with all that information.
Yeah, absolutely. Is one of the things that's much harder than, say, if you were to broadcast college or broadcast professional level. But at the same time, it makes it a lot of fun, and it's fun to see what athletes from all over the place can do.
Good shot, good effort there. By Whaley again.
Yeah, we've seen athletes from all over the state, through the VSN. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great experience, and I'm sure a lot of the athletes from teams outside of Valor really, really appreciate the time to be able to be on air, play in front of cameras. Is Georgopoulos will now take this goal kick again. He will send that up towards Bodie, and he'll head it to Grizzle, and he'll try to poke it over the top to
Clark,
the freshman.
Clark able to chip the ball off of the Conifer defender,
and
which is going to result
in a corner.
It should result in a corner for the Eagles.
So great opportunity here. Corners are a lot of fun to watch. Great set piece.
Got Bodie, who's going to be the one cornering the ball in.
Yeah, great control of the ball. Can get a little spin on it, a little bit of movement, but he's going to play it short to Temby. And Temby will have his shot or his cross deflected, and Dawes is going to drive it.
Dawes
he's going to be well off.
Wound up, but he went for the goal on the left instead of the goal straight ahead and was unable to convert.
Yeah, probably if you're Coach Schultz, you hope he controls that and try to get a little bit more within the range instead of winding up from 30 yards out. As Valor sends a whole slew of subs on at this point.
Line change.
Valor Christian. So again, the goal kick will come out from
Speaking of line changes, we will certainly be bringing you winter sports as well this year, Landon, and ice hockey will certainly be in our schedule.
Yeah, ice hockey's a lot of fun. We can do games away from the ice ranch now that we have this ability to do away games, which is something that as we see.
Tell the folks at home what how we've upgraded a little bit this year.
Well, last year we had to stay real close to the academic building, as that's where the Wi-Fi for Valor Christian is hosted. So we always had to do our broadcast streaming via Wi-Fi. So we could do volleyball, we could do boys girls basketball, and we could do football and things hosted in the stadium. Couldn't get down to softball, couldn't get down to baseball. We did one baseball game, but we did that on a delay. We taped it and then broadcast it. And now this year we've already done softball because of this. We have a Verizon Jetpack, so that allows us to do Wi-Fi all over. Right now, we're rocking all sorts of 4G, and it's allowing us to bring you this. And then last year we got to do a hockey game because the ice ranch had Wi-Fi. But this really,
we actually did a series of them, actually.
Yeah, this allows us to really broaden our horizons. We got to do golf. There's a lot of great things watching, VSN develop, VSN progress, and, trying to get better broadcasting equipment, better.
So we did a bunch of volleyball last year, and that'll be the next broadcast. That'll be coming up here at about 6:30. Then next week, we'll be doing tennis for the first time as the boys tennis team, the Eagles, will take on the Wheat Ridge Farmers in a rivalry match of sorts. It's hard to call it a rivalry when you win all the games against them, but that's okay. It's been our most emotional games for sure.
That's absolutely true. Try not to speak about them, but that's gonna be a lot of fun. Got a great player in Eric Ratkellis. The team, the varsity team here. Oh, that was a poor first touch there. As Valor Christian had attacking opportunity, but yeah, varsity tennis has a great slew of players who just been through the program. They're poised to make a lot of runs. Got a good doubles players.
Yeah, some of the features that we'll have for that the Valor Christian tennis match. We'll get the radar gun. We'll get the radar gun out, and we'll make sure we have the speed on all the serves. We've clocked Rat Kellis at as much as 112 miles an hour on his serve, which I find to be impressive.
Yeah, that's exceptional. And as a high school player, seeing a ball coming flying at you like that, it's gonna get in your head a little. Valor Christian continuing to keep the attack on as they bring in many of their reserve players on.
Conifer being a little chippy with the second line of players. Couple pushes here and there, but referee's doing a nice job of just maintaining control and keeping everything.
Just under
civil.
22 to play. As Valor Christian will have another opportunity. They're stacking the far post, going to charge into the middle of the 18 box. As Temby will take this kick, and Conifer will go with a wall here. And Jonathan Sands is kind of out alone, but now they're going to put a man on him. You could have put a pass on him. I think that's what they're going to try to do. Instead, they're going to put the pass to the other midfielder, Floyd. And Neal is going to play it back up the sideline, but that'll be out of play.
That just gives the Eagles a chance to recollect, get everybody back in position so to defend against the impending Lobo attack.
Yeah, that's would have liked to see a little bit more coming out of that set piece, but at the same time, Valor Christian just happy to come out of here with a win. But at the same time, if you're the Lobos taking your deficit of defeat, last year's five goals, and now you're sitting at 2 with half a half to play.
Yeah, and I'd actually argue the other side, that while you may have beaten them by 5 last year and it was 7-2, I think you like the goose egg. I'm not as worried about how many goals you are scoring, but playing good defense and allowing 0. I think that will be an indicator of later success for these Eagles.
Yeah, they say defense wins championships, but I disagree. Just score more points than the other team and you win.
That just goes against all conventional wisdom, and as you've noted, your favorite college football team, the Oklahoma State Cowboys, is all about the offense and
That's not
about
true.
Well,
I disagree. We'll continue to lead the country in turnovers. Continue to do that.
You mean turnovers offensively?
Yeah, continue to have one of the lowest, especially when let's not get into this. Let's stick with the sport at hand instead of trying to bring down my squad.
I was baiting you.
I know you were. I'm taking the high road, not falling into your traps.
$19 minutes and 11 seconds left here.
Yeah, to Conifer's credit, they're really continuing to put a lot into it, not giving up. Putting 110% into the end.
We're getting there's a chippy factor coming into this game right now, as Conifer down only 2. I think they've sensed that they haven't been able to control anything, and we're getting some elbows. We're getting some.
Jameson back on for the Eagles.
Yeah, we're getting some aggressiveness for the Lobos.
What would your opinion as a coach? Be on chippiness.
We got to run.
Oh, and if they get that ball through to Jameson, and this is going to be a deadly opportunity here. That shot had some venom, and that'll go wide left. Jameson really drove that ball, put a lot on that.
Yeah, he did. As you said, a lot of venom on that shot. Great speed. Jameson, I think we'll see a lot of great things out of him this year.
So again, back to what we were talking about as a coach. What do you think about chippiness? Is it good for the game? Getting a little bit chippy?
No, stay focused on what your job is. Play your game. Anytime you've got to resort to chippiness, it's not a winner's attitude. So you've got to stay, like you mentioned before, stay on the high road and just continue to play with great attitude and great effort.
Bodie looks for something to go, and he's going to play it back to the center back in Sands, and he'll go all the way back to Georgiopolis. His pressure is applied by Whaley. Or, excuse me, that's number 6.
Sands, as Coach Schultz told me earlier this week, best defender on the Eagle squad and has been for a solid 4 years now, as Jonathan will graduate.
I'll also argue he has the best hair on the Eagle squad.
That's not even up for debate.
Yeah, I would agree. As he works to control it here, and he'll clear it out. Ooh, over the second fence. So that's going to be rolling down the hill towards the baseball field.
Indeed it is, for a home run.
Lobos continuing to try to put their first real, threatening opportunity on Valor Christian. That's going to be controlled by Bodie.
Just really no sustained effort of offense for the Lobos.
Yeah, haven't really been able to get consistent control of the ball, which is essential to that. Even if you are a counter or attacking style team, you still need to be able to control the ball somewhat. And
great camera work today by the VSN 1 students. Mitch Whitey is a VSN 1 student. He's on camera 2 today, and actually VSN 2 student Carrick Henderson is on the camera on top of the van, doing a great job for us.
Yeah, putting himself in a little bit of peril.
Well, once the lightning drifted over,
and Temby will go for the header, but that's going to get by. And the header is going to be controlled. Oh, Lobos almost had an opportunity, but that'll be controlled by Valor Christian.
interesting being this close to the field, Landon, as you get a chance to hear all the players communicate, get a chance to hear the coaches communicate to the players.
Yeah, and, pros and cons of being down here. That's an aspect of the game. I guess, we don't get to hear a lot all the way up in the booth, but at the same time, we're kind of at a low angle, so seeing the far half of the field, getting the depth perception can be a bit of an issue.
Certainly is more of a personal look at the team.
Yeah, they're chirping back and forth, really trying to.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are still learning each other, and I think that's an important thing as the year continues. That's over. Good chance by Conifer. As the year continues to develop, for this team to come together, and in those little opportunities, they're teaching opportunities. They're a chance for them to get on huddle and get a chance for them to review the film. And we've got Randall Clark up there videotaping for the program, and Coach Schultz has shown some dedication to making the team better through film study. So I think there'll be a lot of good things that come from it, a lot of good conversation.
Yeah, film allows you to go back and really see your mistakes instead of just kind of saying, well, I think I did this and, I felt kind of off on doing this. It really allows you to say, yes, I did this wrong, or yes, we did this well, or maybe, hey, let's try this next time.
It does make it a lot more objective than subjective. And when you can take that emotion out and use a lot more logic in your analysis of the game, I think it helps all players.
And this will be a throw-in for the Conifer Lobos near midfield. 14 minutes remain, or just under that. Coach Schultz telling the Valor Christian team to get some space. Ooh, clever ball up to Kredzinski. And he'll put a long cross in, but that'll go over harmlessly. So another goal kick out of Dennis. As Conifer brings in some subs, as well as Valor Christian. Cooper Youngs will come back into the game. And the kick here from Dennis will go up the near sideline. Controlled by Jameson.
Didn't seem to kick it straight to Jameson.
Yeah, didn't get quite as much as he wanted to get it over him to a Conifer player. Maybe mishit it a bit. And Bodie will take it near the numbers on the far side. Oh, gets it into Jameson, who will almost convert that just wide. And that was another great opportunity for Valor Christian. Some clever play.
Jameson was certainly upset with himself at missing. Wasn't a wide open net, but it certainly was a great opportunity right in front of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of it showing. Could see the whites of the goalkeeper's eyes. And again, goalkeeper Dennis will have another opportunity here for his goal kick. Probably in the at least double digits, no doubt. That's that long shot. Dennis will bring it in. Thinks about the roll, but I think he'll settle down and punch it.
I still think games like this, Landon, are the most difficult for any athlete. When you know the game is well in hand, the execution factor has to be amped up so much. And it's not that you're ever in peril of losing. It's just more that you are in peril of executing perfectly. Great save.
Well-driven ball there. That had a lot of heat on it. And that will go in for Valor Christian.
There it is.
And that'll be scored by Gabe Kredzinski. Again, I apologize if any family members are listening. Real tough pronunciation there. As Valor Christian will now take a 3-0 lead, 11:26 remaining. Is encouragement coming from Conifer, telling his players to keep it up, keep pushing. If you're Conifer, you'd love to score a goal here. As Neal will go for it, and that'll be out, so it'll be a throw-in for the Lobos. And he's going to go in off in the back of Neal's head. Conifer controls it, and they're going to put a shot on, but Georgiopolis will handle it easily.
Did handle it easily, and you could hear the frustration I don't know if the folks at home were able to catch that ambient sound or not, but the frustration on the lips of the Lobos as they trail 3-0 with just 10 minutes left.
Another centering opportunity for the Eagles. But that'll be cleared out, but James Neal will handle it. That'll be Georgopoulos clearing it out. Dawes will try to handle it. Goes up in the air twice, but he's going to get called for that.
That's the second time Andrew's gotten called on something that was really, really close.
Yeah, that was actually called by the side judge, not the main referee. So, yeah, he had a pretty good angle on it, though. Normally you don't see that. But in that case, he thought he warranted the foul. And that'll go up towards, again, the center mid having a great game. That's Carson Temby. His brother played at Valor Christian. And that'll go up the line again to Gabe.
We do have a couple of, actually 3 that I can think of, siblings on this team. Temby, Clark, and Grizzle, all with older brothers who graduated from Valor Christian at one time or another.
Yeah, Dawes has younger siblings
yes, he does.
in the school. Giedig's brother graduated.
Right, there's another one. Adam's older brother, Dan, at the U.
The U invented swag. Conifer's, still trying to get a goal, and that'll be on Young's.
Ticky-tack right now.
Yeah. Ooh, they'll go up the line and out, so that's a little bit of a waste of that. They're trying to kind of catch the Eagles off guard.
No ball boy on this sideline. Youngs has to go chase it down to get it back to the spot.
8:26 remaining. And we're going to have to hustle up to try to bring you the volleyball action.
Yeah, volleyball's never on time. We'll be okay. That's just the truth of the matter. Lower level games generally take longer than what they expect, and we'll be in good shape to bring you the action live.
Dawes makes a run, puts it in towards Jamison, and that'll be deflected by a Lobo defender. Good play there, but it'll be a Valor Christian corner.
Number of great runs today by the Valor Christian Eagles. They got to feel really excited about their prospects for the rest of the year. Their next game being Saturday against Grand Junction at Valor Christian High School over the Labor Day weekend. 1 o'clock on Saturday for those of you interested in coming and checking out some soccer action.
Yeah, football is in Utah. The entire team actually
That's
now
true.
Flew out today. And I believe there's some sort of event at Valor Christian in the gym to watch that.
That's actually not true at all. That won't be happening. That's with it being Labor Day weekend. The wise folks at Valor Christian decided not to hold that event with the number of people that'll be both traveling to Utah and be out of town for Labor Day. So we will not be broadcasting or showing the game in the gym, but you can catch it if you take a look at the Valor Sports Network Facebook page, which I would recommend that you like. We are near 700 likes, 700 people getting daily feeds and information from the Valor Sports Network. You can catch either one of the possible internet feeds from Utah to watch that game live this weekend.
Unfortunately, VSN couldn't go and cover that for you.
We actually, as second game in a row, we're going to not be able to open up our football broadcasts until what is actually the third week of the football season, because the rights to all those games were held. Obviously, the 0-week game was held by ESPN, and now next week game is held by both KJazz, a local affiliate there in Salt Lake City, and by IBN Sports. Those are the two internet affiliates that you'll be able to catch the game on. High school game of the week there in Utah, Bingham versus Valor Christian.
Yeah, Bingham's one of the top teams in Utah perennially, really a powerhouse there.
I actually got a chance to speak with one of the TV producers out there who said that Bingham also lost a close game to a school very much like themselves, one of the rivals, as I would assume that the Valor-Mullen rivalry will begin just this year. We just wrote Chapter 1 this year of what I hope to become a long-standing rivalry.
Hopefully Chapter 2 is also played this year at some point in the playoffs.
I would agree with you. And, I will tell you that I expressed some disappointment that Regis and Valor will not play football this year, as they were not scheduled and wouldn't put us on the schedule, from my understanding. I'm not sure if there's truth to that or not, just what I heard.
I've heard the same.
And I still think those three schools should make it a point of always playing each other. It's just far too good for the kingdom, in my opinion, to make sure that the three Christian schools, the big Christian schools in the area, are always competing against each other and upholding the name of Jesus Christ in their competitions.
Yeah, it's something is they're all being, Christian schools. They kind of find themselves in the same situation of having to, always find a way to, keep funding there, keep enrollment up.
You bet.
So it just help each other out, because that creates excitement about the schools. It gives students, in middle school say, hey, I want to go there. I want to be a part of those rivalries. It's good for all of them.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think that's something that in all the major sports, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, that all those schools should make it a point of playing each other and upholding each other in exceptional ways.
Oh, a good chip there by Dawes. She was taken down afterwards, but he's going to hustle towards this ball. But that's going to be controlled by Conifer. 4 minutes remaining, 3-0 Valor Christian.
Great first effort by the Eagles. Again, last year beating the Conifer Lobos 7-2. This year, a strong effort, 3-0. I think the statistic that is most telling is the how much time that the Valor Eagles have spent in the enemy's zone. And I wish we had those figures, but out of the 80 minutes, I'd go so far as to say we've held it in their territory for at least 50 of the 80 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of that other time they really haven't brought it down in the Valor Christian zone for more than 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah. A lot of that, if it's 50 minutes in the attack zone, the other there's 20 in the mid, and then 10 maybe in the Valor zone.
So Valor Christian definitely displayed a great ability to control the ball. The Lobos have a corner kick opportunity.
Corner kick for the Lobos here. Corner opportunity. Puts a good foot on it.
And that's going to come
high.
Back at him. He'll control it and put another cross in. Ooh, that's going to break between two Valor defenders. Oh, and Georgiopolis went for it, but Dawes will clear it out.
Great job, Andrew Dawes.
Oh, now Jamison looking for something, but the Lobos keep it in, and that was the first time they really looked threatening. Besides, I guess, with the exception of the time they went Pipe City with it and hit the crossbar back in the first half. And I'm sure the players are happy. It's really kind of, they're still overcast, but the sun's starting to peek through a little bit.
Much better than the high 90s that we've been facing there in Highlands Ranch this week.
Yeah, especially when you get down on a turf field, that turn, adds 8 degrees, and it really gets hot out there. The heat's radiating off the turf.
Yeah, no question, Landon, and better than I, as you're the one who has to do the running these days, and not myself.
I'm fairly certain I burned my elbows yesterday out there doing some planks on the turf, but that's something that's great about Valor Christian is the opportunity to do off-season performance and continue to better yourself, even if there's no real team activities. There's players from all different sports: hockey, girls basketball, girls soccer.
Yeah, I've noticed that this year, that there's been a lot more varied number of programs out there, and that's encouraging. Because usually during the off season, Landon, wouldn't you say that it's been 80 to 90% baseball guys, and now we're getting people from all the athletics, and that's exciting.
Yeah, that really, a change in performance coaches. It's the former coach accepted a head coaching position in
head football coaching position, TJ Reagan at Wheaton Academy out in Chicago, actually in Wheaton, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. We wish TJ and his family the best as he hopefully puts Wheaton on the map in their winning ways. But Coach Heiner has been just such an incredible addition to this staff. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, he's really bringing a lot. His new program, it's hard, but it's rewarding. You really kind of see it pay off. And the way he sets it up, it makes it a little bit more enjoyable to go through. You can always you're always out there with your friends, and he's doing a great job in the weight room too. He's kept a lot of the same principles that have been instilled in the seniors. People who have been here for 3 years, so they didn't really have to learn a new system.
Would you say though that? Would you agree that the program now is slightly more quote unquote sport specific?
Yeah, that's true. Coach Reagan had a really big thing about just triple extension, getting through your hips, your knees, your ankles. But at the same time, that's still here. But at the same time, baseball, a lot of core work, things like that. You get to see a lot of stuff that pays off immediately in sports. And
we'll pick back up with that discussion as we come back on the Valor Sports Network, hopefully here in the next 30 minutes with the volleyball broadcast inside the gym here at Conifer High School.
Mad props to my phone case. You didn't.
Mad props to my phone case, and we're still on.